And welcome, folks, back to the Throwdown OCE Championship League Play 4 and our last series with Yummy Cheeseman and Courier joining Hysterics on the desk. And now we have Tainted taking on Darksided. This is the series of the goddamn day because it's a grudge matchup and a rematch at that.
Don't take the Lord's name in This is a grudge match. This is the rematch of the lower bracket final, the qualifying match from last season where we saw Tainted Minds take down Darksided in a 4-1.
And this is a match that could dictate the seeding as well for the next finals. So it's the rematch, and it's also worth extra points as well.
Well, if either only one of these two teams really can make it into the top two, because Legacy are also sitting there, so whoever goes ahead has that chance to get the top two.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure and so much on the line. And the man I want to be looking at is Dumbo, one of the newest, or the newest pickup for their roster. He's going to be a linchpin on their success with the number of goals he generates. Second highest goals, highest assists. He just pumps out so much scoring potential.
He's got the most goal participation per game because he's got 2.13. He's involved in so much. And he was brought in as a replacement for Monty Connor to give Darksided more chance to get into that World Championship. And you've seen Tainted Minds do the exact same thing, bringing in Jules over the top of Kia to see if he can do it. And even though we haven't seen such outstanding performance from Jules, we've seen him really fit in with their rotation.
And that's really important for them because they're a team that loves their pass plays. So having another person you can throw into that enables you to hold the pressure longer and finally break through.
It's these big aerial pass plays from Tainted Minds that can really get under the skin of their opposition. And it's just from these quick 1-2 threes that get past the defense and everyone's all of a sudden confused.
Yeah, and when you have a player like Jules, he's the least intercepted pass player in the entire league, and he does the second most passes. So when you're a pass play team, that's an amazing pickup to have.
And when we often talk about Darksided, we talk about them giving the enemy team freedom to maybe grasp at those passing plays. Is that going to work out for them in a team like Tainted Minds?
That's really dangerous against Tainted Minds. Obviously, if you're letting Tainted Minds have that big 1-2 pass play, it can create a powerful shot. But Darksider's strategy to win is to let Tainted Minds commit, bring them in, and then counterattack.
Yeah, choke them out and then make them lose.
So with that in mind, in the final series of the day and our match of the day, Yummy Cheese Man, whose side will you be on?
I think with Darksided giving up a little bit too much and maybe losing confidence from their loss to retirement home, I'm going to give it to Tainted.
I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go Darksided for this, and whilst it hurts me not to back CJ, I think this may be the time the Darkside will rise.
Potentially, but it's so damn close, and I'm going to jump on Tainted Minds because of their past experience and the history in this matchup. 4-1, denying them away from RLCS.
Their history has been
season.
so Tainted Minds oriented. They've almost beat them at every single time, definitely at every single LAN.
Yep.
And now they have to prove that they can still do that with these new rosters.
Yeah, it's going to be hard though, because you just the pickups from Dumbo alone, and the fact you got Express and Shady to rely on. Express has just been one of those players you can put on any team. He's like a Jake from Chiefs, and it's going to be strong no matter what you do.
We've also seen the rising success of Jules. Do not forget, at the start, we talked down Jules, but now he has shown growth itself, and that really is the title of League Play 4, the growth that we see. Let's get in the game. Darksided take Tainted Minds, and game number 1, Darksided are looking to surprise Shady with the right positioning and the right thought in mind.
Yep, this is going to be a match of pressure plays versus pass for days, where we're going to see the midfield control is going to dictate how everything goes.
Now Shady has the first shot of the game, tries to be successful once again, but Darksided really strangling out Tainted Minds, passing up the field. Jules will be intercepted, and immediately Darksided bring themselves back down. Dumbo waiting to rotate, but they'll be the ones to do the counter clear.
Yeah, and possession is another factor, because Darksided, whilst they don't necessarily need the possession, they want to control the midfield, but Tainted Minds are some of the fastest players in the game, and they love possession to set up those pass plays that lead to goals. Darksided, they're going to try to choke you out and not let you get those opportunities.
CJ, he's waiting back on defense, and Darksided come forward strong, Express with a light touch. Jules, that clear will be reached by CJ off the back wall. Jules comes in hot. Kami off the side as well. Dumbo passes it downfield, and for Darksided, this is such an important match. They need to make sure they keep on getting wins, because taking the loss against Retirement Home, we did not expect that. I'm sure they didn't either. They can't take one against Tainted Minds. Express stealing the ball away, and continuing to feel each other out in game one.
Yeah, it's that mirroring between these two teams. They've both picked up a rookie. They're both just pushing through so close there from CJ, leaving us on the edge of our seats.
Jules was ready to respond, and Kami's still in here around the corner as well, Courier. Jules the center, but CJ is so far back, he will not be able to reach it in time. Reads the ball well, but Darksided have got other plans. Express brings it back down, and Darksided continuing to try and punch this ball into that backboard.
And with those, even though they're so far behind, you have to keep in mind that these are some of the best boost management players on the pitch as well, so they can get anywhere incredibly fast because you know they always have something left in the tank for those emergency runs.
Just watch Shady and Express bump into each other, and that's not good because it's kind of put them out of position for CJ to run away with the ball from the corner. Kami now in a great position, backboard free, Jules with the touch, but it's not a shot.
He's trying to pass it back to his teammates. Unfortunately, the follow-up wasn't there because they just don't have the confidence, or they're showing Darkseid the respect they deserve, costing them opportunities.
He clears from Darksided, getting that counter-attack not too hard for them. Jumping up to the ball now, Kami. Giving that room to breathe. We said there needs to be that adaptation against Tainted Minds. The ball lightly pressed up, and Kami will come back in. CJ as well responds, but it goes over him. Jules there to respond immediately, so gets the demolition. Another one comes through from Darksided. Looking for the blood of their enemies. The third one onto Shady. Everyone keeps blowing up, but now everyone's back on the pitch.
You'd hope they'd get the control right. If you get two demos on your opposition, you'd want to be taking back control. And we've seen Tainted Minds controlling the midfield for the last about minute and a half. So they need to flip it back around if Darkseid want a chance to score. And the chance they find, the goal comes through.
And Jules went up, but he did not come back down. That was a hard feat there. Unfortunately, Jules missing that backboard means that Darksided will find the breach in the defense, and Tainted Minds getting exhausted out with 2 minutes remaining.
Yeah, Dumbo is their scoring player. He averages over 2 goals between his goals and assists each game. So he's someone they rely on. They can pass forward to pull out those shots.
And Tainted Minds have still got a lot of time here, and things have been so close in a low-scoring affair. But there's the second shot, Jules! What's going on?
The old 1-2, skip a few, and Darksided are starting to run away with the game.
Walking towards that 100 slowly but surely. Express gets it past 2. It's not good from Tainted Minds. Game 1 is slowly going towards Darksided.
Especially in the air. That's a strange place for CJ to get picked out on. Both of these players are guys that love to get up, do those aerial passes, so beating them out there is worrying for the rest of the match.
If Tainted Minds have not brought their A game, Darksided will take this one away. Come from the corner, Jules hanging back, Kami to intercept. Successfully brings it to the midfield, but it means Shady can get a banger of a shot. Speed, the factor there, Jules. After getting the demo, Dumbo now has to hang back. It's still Tainted Minds' ball to play with. 1 minute 30 around the corner. Shady bringing it forward. Kami as well. Minute 15. Time's really running out for Tainted Minds, and I fear that Darksided may have just done enough, but the angle from Kami.
That's why you have players like Kami can take those angles and convert them into goals. And it's the passes that come out. As we talked about before, Jules sets up amazing passes, knowing that both Kami or CJ can just boom them away.
I mean, that was a 1-2-3. That was a fantastic pass play up the field. It's a shame I didn't see that one the first time, but magnificent stuff from Tainted Minds. Now they've got to find another, only a minute remaining. But those long pass plays, open net as the demolition opens it for them.
Great demolitions there. That's something you need to really utilize the pressure plays well. Darksided specialization, they just take shot after shot after shot and eventually break you through. And if you have to pull in that defense, they know, sweet, this is time for some easy demos and just run the troops through.
And after this rate, it'll be goal after goal after goal with a minute remaining and Darksided leading by 2. And pressure not really being applied. Jules solo goes in, but doesn't get anything from it. Shady will pass it to no one, but it's really about making your time work. And in front of net, they do not find the clear as big as they'd expect. Kami tries to cheat that one out, but again, issues arising with Tainted Minds. 45 seconds left, and Darksided done exactly what they need to do. This is a good start for the team that has got a grudge against Tainted Minds.
And Darksided, if you can't get those early goals onto them, you could be in a fair bit of trouble. They're the least scored upon team outside of Chiefs. So if you don't get ahead, you're in a really bad spot.
Tainted Minds almost getting that ball down into the net, but 20 seconds left remaining. That's going to be all she wrote. And times like this, defense very necessary, but they swift the ball away. Kami from the corner, Shady as well. And that's it. This is a great start for Darksided. This is going to be another one. a freebie for Shady to take.
Yeah, what a runaway. Tainted Minds, they need to get these wins. This is so important for both of them, but Tainted, they don't have those extra games to sit upon like Darksided do.
I'd be surprised if Game 1 repeats itself. Darksided have come into the match strong. Tainted Minds is always something about Game 1 for them and for any other team in OCE League play. So let's see how they shape up.
Yeah, it's like Love Decks in Game 4. They either boom or they don't.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it works, right?
With Tainted Minds, how is it like? Because it's not Game 4 for them. It's a strong showing usually at all or not at all.
I think it's a case of when you're trying to take the midfield, like Tainted Minds need to do to start those pass plays, if Darksided are trying to cut you off and just don't give you the angle to make the shot, you're pretty much in a bad spot, right? You kind of take the shot into the corner, and that's cool for Darkseid. Allows them to get a bigger clear or to push it back. As long as they can intercept enough passes, they're going to be fine. And they've been pretty fast to the ball, and that's one of the secrets for Tainted Minds. They have the most aerial passes out of pretty much any team.
Because I feel like there is still room that Tainted Minds are getting. Like Darksided are playing their usual play style. Maybe it's just the validity of how Tainted Minds have come into today.
Yeah, and it's the number of shots they're getting as well. Tainted Minds, when you think Tainted Minds, you think an aggressive team, lots of passes, lots of shots, and they're just not getting the volume that you normally see. And if they're not getting the volume, chances are they're not getting the angles they need to convert it into shots.
So I'm curious how Game 2 changes it up, because this should be a very close match. But Darksided, they've just maintained their style all throughout Game 1. And it's something that Tainted Minds just couldn't deal with at the end.
Yeah, I think they would have learned a lot from their loss against Retirement Home. Because when we saw them lose against Retirement Home last week, I don't take that as, Darksided is starting to slump. I took that more as Retirement Home is starting to rise, and we saw that again today. So from that, they could learn a lot, and I think they would have spent the rest of this week, you have Dumbo and that hard work ethic that Darkside's famous for. They would have just knuckled down, found the holes in their game, and it's paid dividends when you go up against a team like Tainted Mind, who is so aggressive.
Concerned, however, because where do Tainted Minds truly sit at the moment? That is the biggest question. We need to find out where they're placed in the ladder. We're saying 4th, 3rd maybe. If they can't beat Darksided, it's at the moment a definite 4th, because you consider that Legacy, when they got that upset, it was like, hey, Legacy looking clean. Legacy like 2nd or 3rd at the moment, right?
Yeah, Legacy is, I'd probably say 2nd, yeah. Legacy is on fire. So I think Tainted Minds, if they can't pull this, they're going to be looking at 4th. And they have to be really worried because they still have some other matchups left, so they could easily drop if they're not on their A game.
Bit of a hard run. Tainted Minds have gotten the brunt of it, and could be a season that they don't return to RLCS, but only Game 1. Not going to freak everyone out.
Let's not go too far down that rabbit hole.
Because they lost one game, it's all over from here. No. Darksided have found their opening. Now they need to open it wider.
Yeah, and Tainted Minds still did get quite a few touches, right?
Yep.
They still managed to pull those 6 shots out, and we did see some great passes between the 2 of them. Well, 3 of them, rather, between the players. That's what I'm trying to say.
Correct,
and as a consequence, if they can get a little bit faster to the ball, they might be able to find so many more opportunities.
Because God knows that there's, I've got to stop, what do you call it? Using the Lord's David for whatever. You've got to stop looking at, how Tainted Minds can get these passes, and I think we start looking at how can they get to the ball first more than Darksided.
Yeah, or how can they get to the ball first or pass back in a meaningful way that won't be intercepted? Because it's all well and good to get to the ball first, but if you have no opportunities from it, you're eventually just going to get taken out. Or even, say you win the 50-50, if you can't push forward off that, you're just going to have the ball in the corner, you're going to get a little bit too greedy and potentially be punished by a clear.
Well, we saw them being punished by every single clear that came out. Darksided were always there to respond, and these small breakaways are not enough to create a game-winning match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at Darkside's history, right, most of they've got some of the slowest save percentage in the entire league.
Okay.
And initially you'd be like, that's really bad, right? How has the top team got the lowest save percentage? But the reason for it is they don't let themselves get into situations where you can easily score upon them. You have to make an amazing pass play to even have a chance.
And get through their line of defense. One game goes over to Darksided, but Game 2 now. Tainted Minds. They're going to be trying to breach that said defense. Express immediately. There's a big clear over the top. Dumbo will react, but Tainted Minds want to get the breakaway.
And Dumbo's the guy that's most likely going to run up the pitch. But all of their players are competent shooters. Similar for Tainted Minds, though. There's nobody on Tainted Minds' roster that I would be happily seeing run at me with a ball.
CJ and Kami, they hang back. CJ's the one to run up. Now Solo. The ball getting cleared away. Darksided push up the field, and the pressure continues to arise. Jules comes around. The ball centered. The Darksided, they're starting to get their breathing again. In and out. Kami clears it away. Dumbo centers, Express is there, pops it up. Shady's all the way back, the third man not rotating forward, but Tainted Minds have been able to push it up the field. We now watch Shady, who's exactly where he needs to be. The pass over to Express, intercepted by Jules. And looks like Tainted Minds, they want to turn the tempo beat up even more, give it a speed boost. And Kami and CJ just want this ball to go in the net, and it almost does with an own goal, but Darksided survived.
Ooh, that was clutch, almost putting it in their own net. But we saw that great moment there. Jules incredibly fast going for that intercept. When you think of Jules, I want you to think of somebody that revolves around the passes themselves rather than actually scoring the goals. That is what you pick him up for a team, to help add as an assisting supporting player for the goal scoring, or to steal a ball to deny it from the opponents.
Through Express there, got bumped out by a couple of people, but this opens up for Dumbo, hit up. Tainted Minds, they're holding on well in the defense, but Darksided, how many shots can they have? A second is there, the third will be Dumbo, defended well. Jules and CJ taking it in turns. Shady now bringing his prowess to the field, but Kami, as he comes back up, Tainted Minds. Where's the speed at? It's 3 minutes in, it's 0-0, but Darksided continue to pressure.
You could see they were pretty confident that even though they lost possession, they were already rotating back. They'd all replenished their boost. So whilst they lost possession, they were in a pretty sweet spot and could turn it right back around.
Shady to CJ, over to Jules, passing forward, 1, 2, 3. This is quick, the finalizer. Kami, you beast.
A little bit too greedy there. They came off that last play thinking they'd maintain pressure, but Kami, fast on that intercept, did allow them to pull a goal straight through the middle. Speed was the name of the game.
And Tainted Minds know it so damn well. 1 goal, 2 minutes 40. And now we've got a spicy meatball. Tainted Minds, they want to bring this series back into hysterics fruition, but Darksided say, no, this is ours. That's a great save by CJ. Bring it on back. Darksided have decided to punish that defense, but there was no hole to be seen.
And no follow-up there from CJ. CJ allowing his teammates to move forward shows a little bit more communication and a lot more trust rather than him just running through, and that's good to see. It means that they're not going to start tilting and getting in each other's way, so there's a lot more potential for passes to come.
Well, demolition avoided. Kami stays safe, and it's good because he didn't have third-party insurance. Now
That's
2 minutes
illegal in
remaining.
Australia.
Yes, it actually is. Good shot. Shady. That was a bullet.
Someone needs third-party insurance, though, because Shady has just destroyed the back of Tainted Minds' goals. What an angle as well, getting a straight past.
Jules so damn close. It wasn't even that fast of a ball, but it was just the angle in which it was hit. 2 minutes remaining. Darksided seemed to have a beautiful touch with this series.
Yeah, it's just a great read by Shady. He was already up and started to maneuver his car. Oh, the angle is there for them, and the goal does get denied, though. Express, great demo.
Yeah, coming close again, but like you said, a beautiful way with the ball, Courier. Now around the side, 1-1, 145. Ball sent up by Dumbo. Now back again, responded well. CJ passing it up to Jules, he hangs back. This is going to be an easy clear for Darksided. 1 minute 30, the pass inwards. Here we go from Tainted Minds. CJ's up for the ball. A touch on the backboard, it's not hit. Darksided let it happen. They're able to respond quickly. This is a bit of a bouncer from Kami. Jules hangs back. He's going to have to try and get this shot in. It's a minute 15. Tainted Minds. There's one opportunity for them here. CJ was denied, but Tainted Minds are continuing to get the ball up here. Jules, Kami, CJ. All three members are up, and Kami has to rotate back. Jules is already here. A minute remaining. Express centers the ball. They lose out, and Darksided are able to react, keeping it down the side of the field.
I think that was a missed opportunity there. We're seeing that even though Darkseid had been very fast to the ball, CJ created space that could have been a goal-scoring situation. Ooh, scary backboard moment there, but the defense is going to be enough.
But hang on, Kuru, that demolition, that means this is a net for Kami.
More than enough. Kami taking the goal, running it up the entire pitch. Good read there from Jules, and greater follow-up from Kami.
That was all off the back of Jules. You're exactly right. Now 1 goal up, Tainted Minds. They don't want to go down without a fight. They don't want to go down at all.
No, Jules helps sets up the passes, and I want to see them trusting CJ more. The point I was trying to make before is he ran forward and created an opportunity to score, but his teammates a little bit slower to the ball, didn't think they could make it, and sacrificed that chance.
That net was open, a little bit to the right, and that secures game for Tainted Minds, but Darkseid are getting the breakaway once more from the corner. CJ manages to get the clear. We just see smoking through the fire and flames on the pitch here today, folks. Tainted Minds deciding to blow some cars up and look good doing it. 10 seconds left remaining, and Tainted Minds, they may have held out long enough, but Darksided, they've got the ball centered off the backboard. In comes Express, missing the ball again. Darksided might just find their end here, Courier, or will they? Tainted Minds will get one apiece.
That was a great time for Tainted Minds to get that goal. Not only did it pull the game for them, but when you're up against a team that loves their pressure plays, and you can see that reflect in the number of shots, right? Pressure play teams are going to crush the number of shots you get and then demolish you with their own. But when you get a final sneaky goal just before the game finishes, they don't have the time to set up a pressure play. If there's 15 seconds left on the clock, you don't have time to take 7 shots. What are you going to do?
Tainted Minds with that, that accuracy, there was 4 shots. There were 2 goals in that game. They were precise, and they were to the point whereas Darksided had about 9 at the end of that game. That is a difference. Darksided getting a lot more opportunities, but the defense from Tainted Minds is making a big difference in this series.
Yeah, and when you get less opportunities, you have to use them well, and that's where the big pass plays come out. That is the thing they're best at, and if they can keep holding to those, so we saw that moment where Jules came up to pass it to Kami to finish the play, even though they were so deep in their half, noticing and the communication to be like, we now have the chance, go.
With Tainted Minds, that decision-making, is this a whole new series now? Is everything thrown in the air? What do we know, Courier?
I think it's kind of more of the same of last series. It's just Tainted Minds is going up and taking the opportunity. I think there's more opportunities for them to take as well. As I said before, CJ wasn't given the trust he deserves. He's a player that is very aggressive, and you got to back him when he goes up, because he can create situations where they could have got a couple more on the board, but they just didn't.
You remember with last week, CJ was setting up so many plays for mainly Jules. And we're like, oh, Jules, it's a good shot. And we look back and we say, actually, CJ has been a bit of a rock himself for Tainted Minds. And now in Game 3, we're going to have to find out CJ, the rock, comes in strong. Shady defends, but back in. Jules with a shot. Can't be saved. Tainted Minds after a banger of a start.
What was the rock cooking? And as he comes through and takes the goal, the teamwork from Tainted Minds. We talk about it time again. It's all about those passes.
And when you have a rock like Dwayne the Rock Johnson in CJ, Tainted Minds, they get the first goal within 8 seconds, and a much different series for them when you consider how dominant Darksided were in Game 1. Bring it in front of goal. Hang on. Whoa. Close again. Jules getting that save away. Bit of a fumble from Tainted Minds means they can pull it all the way upfield. Jules wins it over. It should be centered, but they will not find the opportunity they're looking for here. Courier, CJ around the corner. Now the defense should be managed away. Kami over to Dumbo. Dumbo again the center, and CJ, good interaction there.
Yeah, good trust as well. Knowing he doesn't have the boost to make the best touch, allowing his teammate to go forward, and again, the following line, let them break out of their half, and now he's got all that boost to try and make a play.
Darksided, they've pushed the ball again. These counter clears always being well respected by Tainted Minds. They pull back and they do one themselves. Dumbo has hit it onto that back wall. CJ will be able to bump this down, but they didn't read the ball. It hits that ramp and rolls. Shady brings it around the side. Jules, Kami, CJ all back in this corner. Shady around the side, trying to slip it through, and the knot wasn't there. Dumbo now the banger again.
What a beautiful pass off the corner. It's such a difficult place to score from, but getting that read, you can see Express use that little bit more boost to make it come off the wall, enabling Dumbo to get a better angle to finish.
And there's these moments where Darksided just find the peak interest of the crowd by getting through Tainted Minds' defense and reading the play before they can see it coming. It's quite rare with Tainted Minds. Speed continues to grow. Tainted Minds playing around the midfield and trying to get the ball out. Shady, this is actually going to set it through. Dumbo gets it out, but it's a light touch, which one Tainted Minds can get their passing play going.
Yeah, and CJ, when he came forward, he pressured Darksided side, even though he didn't get the touch, taking one of the players out, allowing them now to get those passes to come through.
It's amazing to see that the poll's so swayed by Darksided. 60%, 60-40 for this series, and Tainted Minds not having the crowd behind them. Past couple of weeks haven't been the strongest for them. You know why? Darksided are having a much better league play, but it could all change here. Shady, shot denied by CJ, and as Kami, everyone else moves up. CJ's the one waiting for the ball. Now back over to Kami, gets through. He finally clears it upfield. 1-1, 3 minutes remaining. Such a tight series in game number 3. The demolition from Dumbo from CJ means nothing as Kami brings the ball back.
And now we're seeing Darksided locked in their own half. A team that loves pressure plays getting locked in here is a really bad situation. They're not a team that goes for those huge runaway goals. They're the team that wants to try and just beat you down with shot after shot. And if Tainted Minds hold them there, this could be Tainted Minds taking another one.
It definitely could be, because we see them really shutting out Darksided. This is a big clear. Dumbo's in defense, but hang on. Who's in the corner? It's Kami, the center. Light touch, Redwell, Demolition Man by Sting. Great song, but also great plays from Tainted Minds. 2 minutes 20. And managing to hold the ball out. It's looking good for Tainted Minds.
Yeah, CJ leaving the boost there for his teammate. And now the backboard is open, and whoa, what a clutch save.
But Jules reading it so well, and the improvement of this man over the past couple of weeks has definitely been shown. When Tainted Minds are falling behind, Jules has stepped up. 2 minutes remaining. Goal now open for Tainted Minds, but Dumbo's there. We need more members, more demolitions, more bangs. CJ, over to CJ, and back over to Jules. The corner, the angle right. Tainted Minds getting so close. Kami driving backwards. So is CJ. CJ, it's trendy and it looks good.
And what a great pass back, and unfortunately now they're locked in their half. The players are down, so buying time with no boost is so difficult for CJ as the pressure play starts with a lot of time left on the clock.
So many demolitions though, Courier, left, right, and center. Dumbo with a huge clear. Over to Kami and Jules from the corner. Jules will pop it up. 124, 3, 2. Tainted Minds coming up, and they're looking for you. Darksided, hungry as ever, but Tainted Minds, they're here, they're looking, they're waiting for you to be clever. 1 minute 10 remaining. Darksided, they're getting pushed on their defense.
And now we're seeing Tainted Minds fully replenished on their boost as well. They are ready to get this out if they can just get the monster clear.
The backboard pressure is so huge, but Darksided is getting defended well. Won't be cleared away. Express waits. Shady comes in instead, and 50 seconds remaining. That'll turn into a clear. One reacted by Dumbo. 45 seconds. There's so many demolitions in this game 3. CJ, that's got a lot of speed on the ball, but good reactions from Darksided. Shady a bit slow to it. Means Jules can get up. Demolition on CJ. CJ is to be expected. Jules pops it around the corner. 30 seconds remaining. Darksided are holding out, but so are Tainted Minds.
I am blown away that you can have this many demolitions happening without any fadeaway goals. The rotations being so tight from both teams, being able to clean up in time, to deny when you lose 2 players at a time is truly spectacular.
15 seconds remaining, and now Tainted Minds on the defense, playing it slow. The demolition onto Kami, but CJ's here around the side. Jules getting it ready. That board, that net, not defended. Everyone's back in from Darksided. They need it to hit the ground. The backboard aggressed on, but Darksided will now try and bring it all the way down the field. They'll let that one tap, and overtime we go.
You can see Darksided, even though they're on the back foot, still confident. They didn't put the ball down, they put the ball up and wanted to try chase another opportunity.
And now into overtime in game 3. I'm so glad this is the match of the day. CJ with the shot. It's a bit wide. I think it could have been a pass, but Shady, the dribbles here. He gets it past one. He gets it past the other. It's wide. It's over to Dumbo. Back to him, and close call to kick things off.
Oh, my heart just beat twice as fast for the first 22 seconds of this game. These are some crazy plays.
Shady now 30 seconds, goes up for the ball. Express reads it well. CJ is going to leave this one over to Kami. From the side, off the wall, CJ brings it back up. It's in front of Tainted Minds' net. Jules loses the ball. Angle from Shady. The save from CJ. CJ.
The defense and the shots are insane coming out of both of these teams, but the follow-up can't get the pressure so intense. Both teams just struggling.
And everyone came up, Courier. Everyone came up from Darksided. Tainted Minds couldn't get it past the last defender, but now positioning. How are we looking? Darksided back into that defense. Jules keeping it slow, but Dumbo's doing the same. 2 members go for this ball. Kami centered. CJ off the wall. He'll hit it back himself. He launches it onto the backboard. It's well read a minute into overtime. In only game 3. Jules, that's a really good setup. The backboard, it's not really hit. Express doesn't get the shot. It's CJ who angles it to the right. The demolition not found, and instead CJ brings it back around. Jules is waiting down low. He wants to see it snow. With the blood of Darksided right now. The shot's there, but Express saves it away.
Darksided always at the rear post just in time. They're up at the backboard, but eventually they break with CJ. CJ taking it away.
The shot, the boomer, the angle, lock it down, and he says, how's it going, mate? CJ with that. Dumbo couldn't get there, and Tainted Minds are on match point.
Turning it right back round after that first game. Tainted Minds have finally hit their stride and are running away.
So what happened in this series, this game, I should say, Courier, that was so different from both sides, and that was a needle thread of gameplay.
This game was more like what Yummy Cheeseman described on the desk. He talked about if you give them the space, they're going to start running away with it. And this time they got given a little too much. So they could start to control the midfield, and that denied Darkside the ability to start the pressure plays, whilst also giving themselves the opportunity to get pass plays. And you can see that on the scoreboard. It now inverts the number of shots.
Darksided are not a team to be pressured or threatened. They really aren't.
You don't put Baby in the corner.
No one puts Baby in a corner, even
No.
if Patrick Swayze was like 39 in that movie. The point is, Darksided, they're not to be intimidated, they're not to be pressured, but it feels like Tainted Minds in Game 3 did exactly that.
Yeah, this is an intense game, and they are fighting for not just all the money in Throwdown, fighting for that rank, they're fighting for the opportunity to rise all the way up into RLCS.
I'm still concerned, however, because Darksided look clinical in a way, and if Tainted Minds drop their guard in this series, it's going to go to Game 5.
It could flip on a dime. We could just see a Game 5 overtime.
I feel like the demand is there, but, you know, we're going to see how it goes anyway. Into Game 4 now, folks. Tainted Minds on match point. Can they take it away? In league play, this will define where Tainted Minds sit, and if they get this win, Courier, third or second, the world's their oyster right now.
And you can see that Darksided don't have that confidence straight out of the gate, even though they're still feeling strong, that it chose to rotate back after getting the demo rather than push forward and start that aggressive pressure that I really need to see them do.
I feel like Tainted Minds have spent a bit of time in Thailand because what they say is one night in Bangkok and the world is your oyster. Tainted Minds, after only 30 seconds, have been able to apply some pressure. CJ sends it mid. Great pass to Kami.
Trusting CJ. That's what you need to do. When he goes up and he puts it there, you follow and you get the goals.
Look at Tainted Minds. This is what we've been waiting 4 weeks for. These plays to come out consistently, and since Game 2, we have seen it. We are now living it. We're experiencing it, and by God, we love it. Okay, Courier, thanks so much. 4:20, Tainted Minds. They've got the first goal, but how they continue forward, that is going to be the question. Darkside to get a massive clear off the backboard. Now Kami directs it over to the side, keeps it safe from Darksided, and after only minutes past, Tainted Minds getting that first goal, they're able to push forward off the wall. It's going to keep it in air, and that's Shady pummeling it down. Jules hits it away. The shot should come from Express, but they give each other a friendly little bump. Dumbo to dunk. Now Shady to fix it up. Course correction. Shady over there. Dumbo comes in.
What a great setup as well. You think about that. He not only set up the play, but then also took out the defense with the bump, allowing a pretty much open shot for Dumbo. That's how you want pressure plays to work. You want to eventually pull them out of having the opportunity to score.
Now 1-all on the board. Darksided. As we say, you cannot pressure them that much because they will always come back and haunt you. Kami getting the clear upfield. It's going to bounce. Express doesn't get the shot. Shady now off the corner. This is great. Tainted Minds. Ready to pummel through. A good dribble through the air. CJ playing with fire. Shady plays better.
What a runaway! He is so fast, and having the ability to just run through with that and pick the angle, knowing how it's going to come off that car as well, that is an insane shot. Shady.
At 3 minutes 30, they'll be cheering his name if this is what it takes. Game 5 only a breath away, but one that is going to be held for a little while longer. 3 minutes 30, Tainted Minds in a non-commanding position anymore. Express was ready there, but Dumbo had the angle right. Tainted Minds pushing the ball up, only one defender, and Shady gets it the heck away from there. Jules brings it back. It's a slow drop down. Jules goes over the top of the ball, achieves not too much more, and now Kami brings it in. Express reads well. 3 minutes 10, CJ off the side. This is going to center. Jules is coming in. That's an angle and a half. That's a finisher and a half. That's a block and a half. And block. It's again just so powerful from Darksided. The aggression doesn't stop from Tainted Minds, but Darksided managed to hold out.
Express, what were those saves? Save. That is an insane defense. Each one of those deserved to be a goal, yet they hold themselves in the lead with that 2-1.
2:40, a time of Tainted Minds triumph. But now Darksided, it's their time to return to the throne. No boost available for Dumbo. He's going to have to play it slow. Tainted Minds bring it down the side of the field. 2:30, Jules around the side. It's a wonder how they didn't score just then. Darksided, testament to their defense. 2 minutes 20 remaining. Express over the side. Kami over to CJ. Great pass. Locking it in. It will hit the crossbar. Kami comes back in. Again, crossbar. Jules to finish. Doesn't get it in. And the defense from Darksided is literally like the Berlin Wall.
That is so... I'm lost. Shady helping Express in the finish the first ones. Now getting his own set. How are they holding this together? You shouldn't be able to defend that many shots over and over.
Well, much like the Berlin Wall, it has to crumble eventually. 1 minute 50, Darksided lead by 1. Jules off the side, left wing now. It's centered, but CJ clears it away. And keep your eyes on CJ. He'll follow the ball, look for the challenge, steals the boost, past the Kami, but he doesn't commit. He hangs back at 1:30 remaining, but Tainted mines to get this goal.
When are they going to break through this wall? Because Darksided have that lead, and if they can hold it through that many shots, maybe this is a safe strategy. I don't know anymore.
The defense is so damn strong. Kami all the way back. Jules slow with it around the wall. Will try and center. Kami to CJ. Now the ball dropped in front. CJ will hit it against the wall and has run out of boost. Kami passes it back upfield, and these clears, putting some momentum and some speed on the ball off the backboard. Look how fast Tainted Minds are playing. They want to get the passing off, but getting shady there. There's no follow-up just yet. CJ brings it back. Down it goes off the backboard. CJ again, that back wall. A lot of intensity in this game 4.
Darksided finally gets some breathing room, but CJ says no. Shady forced to run back to try defend this for 45 seconds left. Darksided are in the lead.
Dumbo's out of boost, however, Korea. It's up to Express. No one in defense just yet. Shady for the clincher. The crossbar was there, as it always is. Over the top needs to go CJ. Kami, Jules, everyone goes in. 30 seconds remaining. Now going to hit that back wall. Down it goes. A light touch was missed by CJ. Jules over the top of him as well. Kami replenishes his boost, gets bumped out of the way. Shady comes close, but Tainted Minds, they got one last play in them.
And now we see the run back. That great touch there from Express may have just stalled out the game. Only one play left, and it's whether or not, yes, they can.
We've talked about Jules, and it is going to be a trump of a game as we go into number 5. It's getting close to hitting the ground for Darksided. They ensure it, and they ensure a game 5.
And we know you wanted that game 5. We wanted it here at the desk. And let's take it to overtime as we decide who is going to be sitting clean in the top 4.
Clean indeed with those shots. Shady had a hell of a game, but with Tainted Minds, they were struggling there. There were so many close opportunities. Korea, they sat in front of net like twice, but 15 seconds each.
My heart like physically hurts from watching that game. It was beating so fast.
I just could not believe how long Darksided held out, and those should have been goals. There was all 3 members there. They pushed through. They did it again, and they just couldn't breach.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure Express like ran out of boost like halfway through the play, and he's just like diving up. He's like, double jump, please. Oh, it was phenomenal. And then Shady as well, when he did the follow-up series, oh my God.
It's indicative of Darksided. When you watch them in such an intense series, they had these moments where they step up. And of course, in the last RLCS season, when Tainted Minds took them down, it looked so one-sided, but it was never like this.
Well, that's not how Darksided plays. Like, Darksided aren't known as the like pivotal defensive team that's unstoppable and they're like a turtle. They're the guys that live in the midfield and shoot at you 1,000,000 times. So that was an inversion of everything that was meant to happen, yet they still pulled ahead.
So then, is that adaptation that they've made towards the rest of the series that they're trying to shut down with Tainted Minds?
I don't know if that was an adaptation or if that was just the greatest defense I've seen in a very long time.
I'll go with that. I'll go with that.
Yeah, I don't think you can prepare for that. What do you do? Like go into training and just like, how many balls can I have fly at the net?
Well, I think they got that goal advantage and they decided we're going to sit back and we're going to make sure Tainted Minds can't do anything. To a degree, normally you want to push the aggression against Tainted Minds so they can't get clear of the ball.
I don't think they had too much of a choice. Like Tainted Minds controlled that midfield when they were taking all those shots.
They did.
So it wasn't so much that they're like having Tainted Minds where they want them. They were like curled up in the corner, but they had a kid and a spike, so it turned out okay.
And in Match of the Day, I'm pretty excited to take you into Game 5 and introduce you properly into Darksided taking on Tainted Minds, their very last game. One that has been so damn close and one that will continue to impress us. Because the winner of this series, it's the difference between second or third. That means that this team, the winner, could be one of the best teams in OCE. We're going to find out. Game 5, Darksided Tainted Minds. Who will reign supreme?
Yeah, and then for those people that are outside the OCE region, you're potentially watching somebody we're sending over to RLCS. So take your measure now.
Now, this is everyone who's pushed up from Tainted Minds. Careful in the defense, they say. Express stealing it away. This is going to center. He gets a second touch. Beautiful touches from Express. Oh, dunked down. Tainted Minds come close. They defend well, but boy, oh boy, Darksided starts strong.
Yeah, and they didn't go in. They didn't overcommit for that. That's their play. Stay in the middle and just take safer shots. And we know if they give them too much ground, Tainted Minds will run for it.
Express is the one who came back. He tries to read the play as if it gets pinched again, and Tainted Minds come down this side of the field. The aggression continues. Kami waiting back. He's going to reach up for the ball. Only one person in defense. Kami missing him with the backboard. It's pressurized, and CJ has the shot. There's the first one.
Punched right through the middle, crisp and clean. That's what you want from Tainted Minds. The pass off the backboard and CJ to finish.
And those balloons must be filled with helium because Tainted Minds are going ever higher, and they do not look like they're stopping. First goal within a minute.
And helium is a non-renewable resource, so Darksided won't be able to follow.
This could be a dunk though, Karoo, because Tainted Minds have controlled this one. 3 members in defense, and Darksided, they've only let a minute pass, but Tainted Minds regaining control of this midfield is going to be the difference. CJ's up for the ball again. The shot's there. Express out of the corner. Big bump for Kami. In fact, from the side wall, will open up the shot. It goes through again.
Finding those tiny holes. Darksided can't hold the defense across 2 games, but Tainted Minds can keep the shots coming through them.
A big concern right now for Darksided. Tainted Minds are breaching this defense finally, and a 2-goal lead has really defined the series so far.
Determination on both sides. They're both so hungry for this. This is their opportunity to lock in that RLCS dream before they have to go and fight Legacy for it. And there we see it. Shady pulling out that final goal they need to start the train.
But from Shady hitting it up, Dumbo to silence it. What a unique pass play from Darksided. Only 1 goal separates, and this is not over yet.
And with so much time left on the clock, he could easily swing either way. Is it going to be the pressure plays of Darksided or the big passes from Tainted?
Well, we've got a lot of time to find out, and CJ passes it back over. The shot, not really one at that. Express around the corner. Shady waiting back as well. Jules goes up for the ball and leaves it. Express with the dribble and has to be careful. Defensive dribbles are so dangerous around Tainted Minds. Shady up to Express. The passing play denied with a big intercept from Tainted Minds. And CJ coming around the side. Kami waiting back as well. Tainted Minds, they haven't pushed up just yet. They're waiting for Darksided to get that clear. And it's up there for Dumbo from the corner. Express, maybe too much room to breathe for Darksided with only 3 minutes to go. They lose the ball. Tainted Minds hold on. Jules leaves it and drops down and leaves it for Darksided.
Great play there from Jules. Gets bumped out of the net and then uses it in the air to reposition, turn it into a touch, which clears the entire field, now allowing Tainted Minds to gain back some semblance of control.
2 minutes 40, the pass over to Dumbo. Dumbo reacts well, lot of speed on that ball. As it comes out of the corner, Demolition in goal. Now for Darksided, it drops on down. It's lost to Kami, however. It's popped back from the corner. The backboard, it hits down, not in front of net, but it turns into a huge counter clear. One that Express has to react to now in front of net. Dangerous times for Darksided as the ball lightly gets touched again. The follower, the finisher, it is not found.
And Darksided need to break out. You cannot leave the Tainted Minds team. There was so much opportunity to pass in the midfield and then blow you out with that play.
2 minutes remaining, still 1 goal the difference. Express bringing it all the way down. It's going to hit the roof eventually and come back down. But Kami, good pass. It's going to be set up nicely, but the intercept from Shady will do enough. Now off the side, that's one to make Rogi proud.
Darksided, noticing that Tainted Minds didn't have that backboard defense ready, utilizes that to get a nice clean goal, having their pickings of anywhere in the pitch.
Upside down, Express does not care, and Darksided, when you count them out, you lose. When you count Tainted Minds out, you lose. You count any of these teams out, you just lose. 1 minute 50, and it's a pressurous time to be alive in this series. Game 5, 2-2. The ball getting set back up. Jules denied by Express. These clears are huge, but Kami unable to get pressure again. CJ coming in off the side. It'll bounce all the way down. Express managing to defend, but Darksided have to be careful because Tainted Minds, they want to step up the tempo again. Shady comes up with a light touch, and it's sent away.
But can they get it out? We're still seeing Darksided slowly now, like the Sharks they are, circling, building this pressure play. And if they can just hold it, Tainted Minds could be in trouble.
1 minute 15 around the side. Shady stays here, disrupting the ball. Dumbo is the one in defense, and we'll have to wait around this corner. The pressure being applied. Both of these teams in a very nerve-wracking position. But Jules has done it for the third.
And what a time to pick it. Only just over a minute left on the clock, and the pass plays come out, and Jules, the rookie, finishes it off.
But the pass plays, Courier, that's what we look at for Tainted Minds. Working as one oiled machine, a minute remaining, and that machine is running towards the finish line.
That goal in particular is a special of the Tainted Minds roster. Kami and Jules are some of the players that are most likely to get up and go for aerial touches, so aerial passes is something they have practiced and are specialized in.
But like Donkey Kong without his bananas, Darksided are getting grumpy. 45 seconds in this last game. Is it going to be a 3-2? We do not know just yet. Getting the ball all the way over to the other side. Darksided managed to get the clear, setting up for the shot. CJ in good position and reacts well. Kami over the top. Good pass to CJ. Another goal puts a nail in the coffin. Kami up. But Jules back. Wait for this. Jules coming in. The shot. Then again. Jules. Insane.
What a pickup. This rookie, having his first experience at this league play, is running rampant through the dark-sided defense, and it is paying off with 4-2, 21 seconds left. This could be game.
That could be Tainted Minds with Jules getting set up with these passes, finishing off the series. CJ wants the last one. He'll find it, and this time it'll be Tainted Minds who are celebrating the victory.
This has just thrown league play completely up in the air. We don't know where Tainted Minds are going to sit. They're somewhere in the top four. Where are Darksided? Where are Legacy? This is anyone's game now.
Darksided, they've fallen behind. They've put up a very good fight. But Tainted Minds, you cannot deny, had just switched on that extra little bit. And they've brought their A-game today. This is the Tainted Minds that are ready for RLCS. This is the Tainted Minds that will continue to surprise and impress when you have your backs turned.
The adaptation they took, they may have fallen down initially, but they stood back up, no arrow to the knee, as they come back and punish everybody, pulling that 3-2 victory.
And what a panthrax of a performance from Tainted Minds. In all 5 games, Tainted Minds did not look pressured. There was absolutely no cause for concern when you watched the last 2 minutes of that game, because Tainted Minds controlled it fully. And they will take the lead 3-2 over Darksided, getting that series win. Yummy cheese, man. It's as we expected.
As we expected, sure, but it went to Game 5. That was the best Game 5 that we could possibly have as well. Both of the teams really picked it up. Game 4 was obviously a very interesting match where I think that would have been incredibly frustrating for Tainted Minds, but they ended up bringing it through. They didn't let it get to them, and they brought back their old style of playing really fast. And that was great because Darksided were trying to intercept the passes, but they were coming so quickly that there was no way they could get to them first.
Yeah, and that's something that they're really good for. Jules and Kami are some of the best passes to not be intercepted upon. So be able to take advantage of that and get in between the pressure plays of Darkseid, it gives you more opportunities than you're typically allowed.
And I know that CJ was really sad and hurt last week that he didn't get the MVP contender. And normally we don't give it at the end of the day. Normally it's straight in the MVP, but a pity vote over to CJ. You can be my MVP of the series.
You can be the contender, and he definitely deserves it with the way Tainted Minds have been playing and the way Tainted Minds have stepped up to this series. This rattles league play because all of a sudden Darksided and Tainted Minds might not sit where we thought.
Yeah, they've completely changed it up. So we do have an overall standings already. There's some updates. Chiefs are guaranteed top 2. They're basically guaranteed first place. It's almost impossible for them to not get first place. Legacy are guaranteed top 4, and they're almost certainly second. While Darksided have guaranteed themselves top 6, so have Tainted Minds. And Legs Are Silly are unfortunately out. They cannot get better than 7th place. And Retirement Home Jam and Love Decks cannot make the top 2 at the moment.
But what an exciting place to be sitting, though, when you have 3 teams that are going to be fighting for relegation, another 3 teams that are potentially fighting for top 2. Every match is going to count next week. I'm still excited. I haven't recovered. It's still going.
No, it's going to take a while to get over that last series. And what a way to end the day, Yummy Cheese Man. However, we have to look at our MVP, brought to you by Omen by HP.
Our MVP of the day, it had to go to someone on the Chiefs. And how do you decide? Well, it ends up being Jake from Chiefs. Huge performance from him. 9 goals, 7 assists from 6 games. He had the most shots per game as well.
And when you're a reactive player that comes forward and gets that many shots, that shows how much control and understanding you have of the pitch and how much your teammates are trusting you to come forward.
And he was a true plasma missile coming through and just demoing everybody in the net. You saw him going ham time and time again. So not only was he getting involved, he was in a great position every single time, but he was also opening the net for his teammates.
Definitely well-deserved. And Jake, this is not the first time he's picked up an MVP throughout the years. And of course, that is why he is our MVP, brought to you by Omen by HP. But that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. We finished off with an absolute cracker of a series. Tainted Minds running up, and I think next week in league play.
That's just a taster of next week. Next week we have all the best matches of the season. We've got the grudge match between Jam Gaming and Retirement Home. We've got the matches between Legacy, Chiefs, Darksided, and Tainted Minds. And we're going to see as well if Love Decks can rise back up.
We can find out because that's our last week of league play, and that defines who will be making it to the top 6 and who will be joining Legs Are Silly, because at the moment, it's not as defined as you would think. You may guarantee top 6, but where are you going to sit in top 6? Seeding is so damn important.
Oh, yeah, you want to get those top 2. You want to have that nice safety net pushing all the way through. And then even within that, you want to get, third and fourth so you have a safer seed because you don't get in the lower bracket immediately.
Even Legs Are Silly have something to play for. They can be playing for $250 just by getting into that 7th place, and they'll potentially take the contention away from someone else.
And of course, for the other teams above them as well, this is the start of the RLCS run. This is the RLCS season where OCE is going in again as something feared when the Chiefs have put their impression on, and with Old Pale Horse going there and putting up a fight as well.
I think second is definitely going to have to go, but we are going to look at EU League play coming up next. It is at 12 p.m. UTC, 9 a.m. PST or PDT at the moment. And of course, if you are from Australia, tune in at 2 a.m. AEST.
We'll see you all then. Of course, a big thank you to Yummy Cheese Man and to Korea Lord. My name is Hysterics, and we will be back next week for our last week of league play for the OCE Championship. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you then.